The European Union Election Observation Mission has submitted its findings and recommendations on the 2023 general election to the Independent National Electoral Commission. In the report submitted on Tuesday, the group presented 6 recommendations to INEC, stating that they will contribute to improvements in the conduct of elections in the future and restore faith in the process. The EU Chief Executive Barry Andrews stated while submitting the report to INEC that there is a need for legal and operational reform to enhance transparency, inclusiveness, and accountability.
A need for further legal and operational reforms to enhance transparency, inclusiveness, and accountability. Positively, Nigeria has signed up to key regional and international commitments for democratic elections. While we consider the electoral legal framework provides an adequate foundation for the conduct of democratic elections, there are ambiguities in the law. For example, the Electoral Act 2022, which had its first test in a general election in 2023, and other legal instruments evidenced gaps in terms of transparency, accountability, and inclusivity, and left room for uncertain implementation.
While stating several shortcomings observed during the election process, the group therefore recommended that remove abilities from the law, establish a publicly accountable selection process for INEC members, ensure real-time publication of and access to election results, provide greater protection for media practitioners, address discrimination against women in political life, and eliminate impunity regarding electoral offences. Meanwhile, the chairman of the electoral body, represented by the Commissioner for Education, Festus Okoye, mentioned breakthroughs and shortcomings from the 2023 election.
Of the House of Representatives elections, in terms of the governorship election, and also in terms of the state assembly elections, you can see that almost all the domestic and international election observers made mention of the fact that there were substantial and significant improvements in the conduct of the elections and in the management of the elections. So there are so many positives to the election, but there are also a few challenges. And in looking at those challenges, you must also look at the context of the election and also the environment of the election. The context of the election and the environment of the election was surrounded, one, by insecurity in so many parts of the country. Nobody can dispute that. Secondly, there were also issues of violence around some of our targeted at some of our staff, and also targeted at some Nigerians. You have to also look at the whole issue about the fuel scarcity during that particular period, the issue of the Naira redesign, and also the fact that we had significant challenges with transporters. So these are some of the issues we are going to look at. Now, recommendations have been made on administrative issues.
Okoye therefore promised to ensure the implementation of the group's recommendations, adding that
one of the lessons we must learn is that, one, we must have faith in our democratic institutions. It is not every time we have a very small challenge with the interpretation of a particular section of the Constitution or interpretation of a particular section of the law, we now run to the National Assembly to go and amend the law. No, there has to be some level of fidelity with our institutions, with our democratic institutions. That is the way we can progress. The other issue I want to underline is that democracy is not a 100 meters dash. We as a people and as a nation have to build our own democratic institutions and our own democracy. You had the chief observer say that there is democratic regression in so many countries of the world. So if there is democratic regression in so many countries, in so many parts of the world, what are we supposed to do? Also regress? No, we have to have some level of we have to be positive about our democracy and build our own democracy. Because those who are saying there's nothing good about our democracy, there is nothing positive about our democracy should be jettisoned. What those people are saying is that we should allow anti-democratic forces to take over and destroy our own democratic institutions, and nobody does that.